Okay, guys, so what we're going to do is we're going to roll through the worksheet that you guys completed, hopefully yesterday. And I think I told one or two of you that I wasn't going to, collect it. But what you're going to do is after you go through, you're going to go through and you're going to make corrections to the worksheet that you see in front of me. So the one that you filled out yesterday, you're going to make any corrections needed. And then I want you to go ahead and submit that worksheet on Dropbox, right? So you'll go ahead and do that. So you will submit it on Dropbox, but I'll make that announcement. I'll make that announcement later today. So the idea behind this is you wanted to find the court, the first court where these cases are going to appear. So you're not going to, if you've got any of these courts listed, if any of them are second tier courts, then you've already done it wrong, okay? So it's because anything in the second tier is a appellate court, right? So any appellate court is going to hear a court case based off of appeal, meaning they're hearing it for the second time. We want court cases that are heard for the first time. So what we're going to do is we'll go ahead and we'll roll through this. The first one I provided for you, this is the Puerto Rican man is charged with drug trafficking. Doesn't matter that it's drug trafficking. The fact is that he's, that it's in Puerto Rico. I would say that it is in his home country. So this is a U.S. territorial court that is going to be responsible for this case. The next one, U.S. Marine defects and deserts his battalion while they are under fire. So this case is going to be a regular U.S. a U.S. military court. Okay, so that first tier U.S. military court is going to hear that case. Scrolling down a little bit, we go down to case number 3, case involving a broken treaty. You can go ahead and you can stop there. You don't need to read another thing. You know that anything involving a treaty deals with international trade. So that's going to be our Court of International Trade. And then a case involving a Michigan man accused in charge of kidnapping a Michigan woman. So it doesn't, that might throw you off a little bit if you were to see, Michigan man, Michigan woman, it must go to a state court. The key thing here is that it is kidnapping, and that was one of the examples we listed yesterday in notes as a case that would go directly to a federal court regardless of where it is taking place. The next one, Chicago gangster Al Capone is charged with tax evasion. We mentioned tax court as being responsible for that because it deals with the subject matter of taxes. Moving on down. Number 6, a Virginia man sues the federal government for value lost on his property. If anybody is suing the federal government, we should immediately recognize that is going to be a U.S. claims court. Those are claims on the government, so that's going to be, it doesn't matter that he's from Virginia, we're looking at the subject matter there. Marine officers order hazing practices to be carried out on a soldier. Okay, so this is a within the military subject matter. It's going to be handled within the military, potentially a court-martial there. Number 8, North Carolina man murders another North Carolina man in that state, prosecuted under the state's criminal law. Okay, so then you've got you see that they're both from the same state. Okay, so you think maybe that state, but that kind of is very similar to the kidnapping one. But the thing is, kidnapping we determine is federal subject matter. We don't really know. We didn't say anything about murder, so we got to assume that that's going to fall under state. So that's going to be a state court issue there. Moving on down to the last 2. Illegal loggers in Alaska are prosecuted for harming endangered species of plants and animals. Drug trafficking case Anything dealing with illegal loggers, we did mention a couple of federal regulatory agencies. One of them being the FCC and the other one being the EPA. And I told you to go ahead and write out that acronym. You should have yesterday. So the EPA being the Environmental Protection Agency. So go ahead, make sure you make that correction if you did not get that one right. Last one, drug trafficking case in Texas. That one's easy because we see drug trafficking. Anytime we're dealing with drug trafficking, that should signal to us a federal law. So that's going to go to one of our 96 district courts. Okay, and I don't think I mentioned it before, but I'll go ahead and scroll up. That kidnapping case earlier, where is it? Kidnapping case number 4, 96 district courts. We said that it was federal, but I think I neglected to mention that it's one of those 96 district courts. So, if you need to make corrections, go ahead and correct them, and go then after you do that, scan it, whatever you need to do, but I need to see that you have done this work. All right, catch you guys later.